Hey, how's it going? It's your boy Kennard Lewis. We in the flesh. We doing it right. And I'm here today to talk about a topic that I think is very hard for us to do in the heat of the moment or when we're so emotionally invested. And that's about walking away. Come on now. Tell me how many times have y'all gotten in trouble or have lost your mind or lost your temper because you stayed in a situation that you weren't supposed to be. And I understand that sometimes you just can't help it. Sometimes it's just too much and they're talking smack. They're just not listening. An unjust situation. I need to say something. I need to check them, right? But what happens when you get in trouble? What happens when there's consequences for your actions that you do not like? And that's the whole thing about walking away. It's about you need to understand your environment. You need to understand your relationship with certain people or your association with certain people. And the reason why I say that is because if you're not in tune with the things that are going around you, then those triggers will be the death of you. There will be the death of you. And I say that with so much passion because sometimes I feel like we're giving our energy away to the wrong people and we're staying in circles that are not beneficial for us. And it's hurting us inside. I know we talked about our environment, right? Those toxic environments that sometimes we can't walk away, right? Sometimes we can't just leave them. And it's true. But I believe that we could somehow walk away in here. I think we could walk away by disengaging. I think we can understand that we cannot change people. Man, how many times, I know because I struggle with this, where I'm trying to have people see my point, right? And it's kind of hard when you're in a toxic environment, right, for people to see your point of view, or it's kind of hard to have people understand that they shouldn't be talking to you that same way, but they continue to do so. And you could punch them, right? You could curse them out, right? And sometimes that can work for you, but is it the right thing to do? Will you get in trouble? What's going to happen to you? These are all the questions that you need to ask yourself. Do they deserve your energy? Do they deserve your time? As much as we would like to change situations, as much as we may like to change people, we just can't. We just can't. It may get us frustrated. It may get us worked up. But at the end of the day, we have to disengage. We have to walk away. And I think the best way to help us do that is to understand what happened to us when we didn't. Understand what went wrong when we stayed. And sometimes what went wrong may not be a consequence. It may not be getting in trouble. What happened to your mind? What happened to your heart? What happened to your mental health when you stayed? What happened when you engaged and you lost that energy? What happened to your happiness? A lot of us are draining ourselves because we decide to not walk away. We decide to stay there and it hurts. I know, Kanar, like, I'm just surrounded by it. I know. Trust. Trust. I know. Because there's moments where you think that they're going to get better by you engaging. You think that if you just try one more time, it might get better. That something might happen in your favor. Or, if you check them one more time, that, maybe they'll stop. Sometimes it just doesn't. And I think we have to be more in tune into the patterns that exist. There are patterns out there. There are patterns that we are experiencing and are visualizing. And it's time for us to take those into account, into consideration, and act accordingly. Because the last thing that we need is our mental health, our happiness, and our energy and our time to be taken away by people who do not deserve them. And I know it sucks. I know it's hard. But we have to try our best to walk away. And if we can't do it physically, we got to do it emotionally, mentally, spiritually, whatever we can do. So please look at your environment. Who deserves your